almost seems like it was yesterday when I was a little tiny grom and my sister worked in a surf shop, and I was looking up at the rack and I was like, I want to be on the cover of Surfer magazine.
This week, I'm in Oceanside, California, hanging out with Sean Madison. And later on, Luke will be showing us one of the coolest hangout spots in Sean's area. Sean grew up in Florida and started surfing in the same arena with a guy you might be familiar with, a guy named Kelly Slater. Sean began surfing in 1974 at the age of 5 and developed into a great surfer and became a 5-time East Coast champion, and has quite a list of surfing accomplishments, including U.S. Surfing Champion in 2003, and as recent as 2011, a gold medal winner with Team USA in the ISA Games. Sean's ultimate goal as a young boy was to get on the cover of Surfer magazine.
It almost seems like it was yesterday when I was a little tiny grom and my sister worked in a surf shop, and I was looking up at the rack and I was like, I want to be on the cover of Surfer magazine. And it was just like I said, just like it was yesterday. And years later, in the 90s, Rob Keith and I, he's a staff photographer for Surfer magazine, we'd built a relationship, and they were shooting for a California issue. Then about a month later, I got a phone call from Jeff Devine, and he said, hey, Sean, we want you to come down to the magazine. And I was kind of like, Jeff Devine called me, what's the big deal, and why do you want me to come to the magazine? And he said on the phone, we want to show you something. And so I'm like, okay. And I drove to Surfer magazine, went inside, and Devine's holding this cover of Surfer magazine. He says, you're on the cover of Surfer magazine. And for me, it was like, wow. It was just a dream come true.
Look at a quiver, or you consider a quiver. It's a lot like people. Every single board has a different personality, and every board is special. The workmanship that went into each one of those boards is pretty amazing. The artistry, the craftsmanship, anywhere from putting the blank together to shaping it to the fins. And each of these boards has a personality, and you just take each one of these boards and see what it has. And it's extremely exciting because it will have a feeling that is different from every board in the quiver. There's no single board that's alike. And this is what makes surfing very interesting, because you can take a fish, a short board, or a long board, and every one of them is going to enable you or make you approach a wave differently. And this really makes surfing an unreal sport.
just who we think we are, man. Convenient, confused, you've been there before. Knowing sometimes this leaves us feeling that these answers just don't seem real, no. But regardless of words they'll say, I want you to know that I am one to love this world, yeah.
Life is about choices. Every single day we wake up and we have choices that we either have to do or we want to do. And it's really up to you and it's up to me what we do with every single day. And that's what life's about, choices.
After meeting up with Sean, Luke and I decided to head over to one of the local hangout spots just down the street.
Located in Oceanside, California on Coast Highway, The Breakwater is a local pizza and brewing company started by young entrepreneurs. Owner Shannon Sagar hooked us up with an inside scoop of the Breakwater Brewing Company, and while inside, got a sample of brewer Lars Gilman's unique brews. So let's step inside and see what makes the Breakwater Brewing Company tick. The moment you walk in, you get a first-hand experience of how pizzas are made. After tossed and topped, the pizzas are thrown into a toaster oven and sliced and diced. The results are mouth-watering. And our friend Tasia agrees with a thumbs up. Next were the chicken wings. After cooked, doused, and tossed in sauce, the wings are doused and tossed some more, ensuring that every inch of every wing is dripping with sauce. Then bring on the salad. After the lettuce, the salad is packed with tomatoes, cucumbers, mushrooms, pepperoncinis, olives, and cheese. Plate it up and your salad is served. Last on our menu was the panini. Our choice of focaccia bread was sliced in half, then dressing was slathered on both sides. Plentiful layers of meat were diced and piled on as heaps of cheese were added next. The sandwich was then thrown inside of a toaster, and a brick, yes, a brick, was added on top to assure even toasting. Now it's time to dig in. The wings were first, which pack a spicy punch, but nothing your average wing lover couldn't handle. Cooked to crispy perfection with ranch dressing on the side, these wings were awesome. Moving on to the salad, I first decided to drown it in some balsamic dressing, then drown it in some balsamic dressing, then right after that drown it in some balsamic dressing. Did I happen to mention that I freaking love balsamic dressing? But the greatest part about this salad is getting lettuce, cheese, cucumber, and more in every bite. Last but not least, onto the panini. With the satisfying crunch of the toasted bread and the flawlessly melted cheese fused with the meat, all add up to make the panini a perfect combination for any lunch. Which now brings me to my favorite transition, the beer.
Well, Breakwater came to be through a couple of different people, local people. Shannon Sager's the president of the company, and he's the one who is running the day-to-day operations. We're open up daily from 11 to 11, and hopefully this summer we'll be able to stay open until 12 to get that extra hour of drinking in. Well, our menu was designed by Shannon Sager, and it goes from having signature pizzas all the way to our paninis. We have 6 different styles of wings and 6 different styles of salads. So we have all kinds of bar foods, to pizzas, to paninis, a little bit of everything for everyone. So the first gold medal that we received was for the Berry Creek, won gold medal in the fruit beer category out at the Great American Beer Festival in Denver, Colorado. Then our next one was the Devastator Doppelbock, took gold medal in Chicago World Cup for the Double German Strong Amber. And then followed up most recently our DMJ IPA, Del Mar Jetty, won gold medal at the International Beer Fest in Del Mar. And those are our 3 gold medals that we have.
Thanks guys for joining us this week on Quiverworld. From Jeff, Sean, myself, and the gang at the Breakwater, we'll see you next week.